Welcome to the Tiffany Mika podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, this is Tiff from Tiffany Mika podcast and welcome to today's episode. You know, when you accomplish a goal, like a really big goal, I'm not talking about the little ones, a really big goal, you've been working all year. So let's look at this year. The first question that I really want to ask you is, have you accomplished that big goal that you've been working on? And the reason that I ask you that question is because, one, I want to know, but also the second reason is because I want to know how it made you feel once you actually accomplished that big goal. And don't worry, if you haven't accomplished that big goal just yet, and we're getting, very close to the end of the year, we've almost got a month to go. We're nearly into December. Don't freak out if you haven't yet accomplished it, because sometimes the goal may take a little bit longer than what we anticipate. And that's all part of the process. And we have to learn those lessons that sometimes it will take us a bit longer to get there. But the thing that I want you to be thinking about and sharing with me is that if you have actually accomplished a goal, I really want to know how you've actually felt about it. And the reason is because I've accomplished a big goal just recently. You've heard me talk about my book. I've just launched my book, Focus, How to Reach Your Potential in Sport, Business and Life. And if you do want a copy of that book, you can buy it directly from me at tiffanyMika.com/focus. So you can, like I said, buy it directly from me. But recently I've accomplished this big goal. I've got the book up. It's online. You can buy it from me. It's a physical book. You can buy it Kindle, yes, through Amazon. But you can actually hold it in your hands and read this book. And that was actually quite a massive goal that I had and that I'd been working towards for quite some time. So even though I had written the book last year, it took me 6 weeks to actually write the book. Actually getting it to print and actually holding it in my hands took 15 months. Now, when that actually happened and I got the book in my hands, I was like, oh, that's it. I've done it. And I had a weird sort of feeling. It was quite difficult to describe. It's strange to describe because I was like, I compare it like Christmas. You've got that anticipation leading up to Christmas. It's the Christmas carols. It's going out to Christmas parties, spending time with friends and family, having a good time, eating a lot of the yummy food, really celebrating the end of the year. Christmas is it's all about connecting with people that you love and that you care about. But we get to Christmas Day, we've given out the presents. We've had, with our family, we tend to have a special breakfast and then we have a special late lunch. And we all together and we all have this traditional food that we've been doing for years. And we have that. And then it's like, okay, it's over. And it's that build up. And that's what a goal feels like. It feels like Christmas. It's that build up of excitement. Yeah, it can be painful and frustrating and all of that kind of thing when we're working towards our goals, but it's also exciting that, I get this opportunity and I'm so close. I feel it coming. I'm doing everything that I can to make it happen. And then you accomplish that goal and you're like, oh, that's it. And you feel a little bit flat. because you've actually accomplished it. Because it's quite funny. The goal that you've actually achieved, at the end of the day, it's not about, and you may hear this quite a bit, it's not about how can I put it? It's not about the goal itself. You hear them say it's about the journey to accomplishing that goal. And you're like, oh yeah. Because I know when I used to hear that saying, I used to go, oh yeah, well, I want the goal. I don't care about the journey. I want to just accomplish that goal. And when I became more wise about what the actual journey does, it teaches you a lot of lessons. It teaches you a lot of processes. It teaches you, in the sense of the lessons, it teaches you what works, what doesn't work, how to deal with things when challenges come about. Because that's what happened right through the whole process of the book for me. Not so much the writing of the book. I found that not too difficult, because I had a lot of information in my head that I wanted to get out. But everything that was involved in leading up to the book actually becoming a physical product that you could hold in your hands and open and flip the pages, there was a lot of frustration and a lot of lessons along the way. So when you accomplish a goal, sometimes, yeah, it can feel flat. I remember Tony Robbins talking about Neil Armstrong when him and his crew landed on the moon. So most incredible thing that you've ever done, isn't it? Landing on the moon. So when they had done that, they had the ticker tape parade, they had lots of interviews, they met a lot of people because they wanted to meet the astronauts that landed on the moon. But then what? What was to come after that? What happens when you've landed on the moon? What comes after that? And apparently then they had a lot of challenges, in the sense of they got quite down because they didn't know what was next. And that can happen when you've accomplished a big goal, is when you've actually reached something that you've been striving for such a period of time, and you've actually reached it. It's like, what do I do next? What happens next? Because what actually happens when you accomplish a goal sometimes, and this is not a bad thing, this is quite a normal feeling, is that you go, oh, is that it? Oh, I didn't feel like it was going to be as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Oh, I've done it. You may even feel, after you've accomplished it, you may even feel, oh, okay, well, what do I do next? Because you can feel quite lost. And then you say to yourself, well, what do I do now? What do I do now after I've accomplished this big goal? And I've seen that happen with athletes. You can see, I can't think of his name right now. It was from years ago. I can see his face. I just can't think of his name. But there was a Aussie player, golfer, years ago who won the British Open. And what happened after he won the British Open, he didn't perform so well. His golf suffered, and he was really struggling with his golf. So he was winning the British Open, being the most decorated player of that tournament, and then nothing happened after that. He couldn't win a tournament. He struggled to play golf. There's a lot of things going on. And what actually happened was that he said, I achieved my goal. So his goal was to win the British Open. He did that, but he didn't know what to do next. He became lost because he didn't have a goal set after that. And I would assume that would probably have been the same for the astronauts that landed on the moon. That was a massive goal, landing on the moon. The technology in 1969 is nothing compared to what we've got now, but they still did it. And the things that they went through, the challenges that they went through in order to land on the moon and to get back to planet Earth. But then they accomplished that goal, and it's like, well, what's next? Because they didn't see beyond that. And that's the thing that we've got to see. We've got to see beyond actually what's going to happen next. So when you accomplish a goal, these are the things that I want you to do. I've got 4 steps for you, because we need to acknowledge that we've actually achieved something. So the first thing that you want to do is you actually want to reward yourself. And why reward yourself? The reason for that is because you're working towards a goal. You've accomplished that goal. You've done everything that you've wanted to do. And then you need to actually acknowledge that, hey, yeah, I did something great here. Wow, that was awesome. Now, it can be something simple. It can be something grand. But you need to actually reward yourself for that, because you have to acknowledge that you've actually accomplished something. Because if you keep going on, oh, well, I've got to go and focus on the next goal and I've got to do the next one. And if you don't stop and actually appreciate what you've actually done, all you're going to be doing is become a goal-seeking machine. And that's really not what it's about. You want to actually learn the lessons along the way in the journey. When you've actually accomplished the actual goal, you need to reward yourself. Acknowledge that, hey, I've done something great. And it doesn't matter if it's a big goal or a small goal. You're like, yep, I've done it. You know, I rewarded myself right throughout writing my book. When I had finished writing the book, we went out for dinner. I've done it. How fantastic was that? And I had a goal that I had to actually accomplish and finish writing the book just before I went to Spain and Portugal to take a women's golf tour over there. So I had a short period of time in order to get the book written, which I did. But I acknowledged that I'd done it. Yeah, this is great. Then when I had actually had an editor go through the book, went through the editing process, great. Another little reward. When I went through the process of having it proofread, went through the whole process of that. That was a very interesting journey, let me tell you. And great, rewarded myself for that. Now I've got the book up and out into the world. Rewarded myself for that. Right? It's an incredible feeling, but the point here is number one, you must reward yourself when you've accomplished a goal. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's a small goal. Doesn't matter if it's a big goal. Reward yourself and acknowledge that you've actually accomplished something. Number two, take a break. You actually need to take a break once you've actually accomplished that goal. And the reason for that is because you need that time to let yourself mentally wind down so that you're ready to then reestablish a new goal, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we need to actually take a mental break from that. You even need to take a physical break from that. It's okay to take some downtime. You're not going to miss out on anything. We need to take breaks along the way so that we can replenish ourselves. It's like when we go to sleep at night. Why do we sleep at night? After a hard day's workout, right? Hard day of training. Why do we sleep? To rest and recover. Why do we take rest and recovery days? For that reason, to rest and recover. So when you've accomplished a goal, you need some time out to rest and recover. So I've done that. Launched my book. Mentally, I've taken some time out. You would have noticed I only recorded one episode for you last week. I needed some time to mentally rest and recover so that I could prepare myself for the rest of the year, because we've still got another few weeks to go. Am I going to take some time off over Christmas? Absolutely. Are you going to take some time off over Christmas? You should. Give yourself time to rest and recover. Okay, it's important to take a break. Number 3, after you've done those first two things, one is reward yourself and the second one is taking a break. The third one is now you're ready to reset that new goal. But you need to have had that time out, right? Because if you don't give yourself time out and you just keep going, what actually happens is you hit burnout. And you may have heard me talk about burnout quite some time ago in an episode that I recorded where I was talking about when I hit burnout, and I've hit burnout many a time, and that was because I didn't take breaks when I needed to take breaks. Sometimes it was forced breaks, but I never took them, and then I hit burnt out. When I hit burnout, Then what happened? Then it'd take me 2 to 3 weeks to recover because I wasn't sensible enough to take the break when I needed to. So when we take the break, we give ourselves downtime, we give ourselves rest time, we give ourselves recovery time. Doesn't mean that you have to go and lie in front of the lounge and watch the TV all day. Go and do other things. Go and do things completely different to what you're actually doing. That is what I'm doing at the moment because I need that time to rest and recover because I've accomplished a goal so that I can finish the year strong. So that's why then when you've rested and recovered, you've got that mental space to reset that new goal. As you know, like I've said earlier in this episode, we're getting very close to Christmas. And this is a time where we're going to take some time out and take a break. Do it. Also, by taking a break, it gives you that time to actually think about what is it that you want to accomplish next. What's the next step? You've accomplished that big goal, even that small goal that's leading to the big goal. What is it that you've got to focus on next so that you can accomplish that next? But remember, you need to give yourself that mental space to be able to do that. When you do that, then you can reset the new goal. Then number 4 is then once you've reset that new goal, plan it out. Okay, don't just get to work and go, plan out the goal. I've talked about this a lot, and I've spoken about this a lot throughout the year through the episodes. I will be doing a goal setting session for you at the beginning of 2020 so that we can get our heads right and get ourselves into gear to actually accomplishing our goals. And I'll show you how to plan it out. But what you want to do is plan it out. But you need to go through those 4 steps. So don't just accomplish the goal and move on and quickly try and do something next or power through. Take a break. Reward yourself. Mental downtime. May even need physical downtime. Rest and recover. Then you want to reset the goal, and then you want to plan out the goal, and then you get to work again. Quite a simple process, isn't it? So that's what I want to make sure that you're doing. If you're getting close to accomplishing a big goal, get out there and finish it. If you haven't yet finished it, and it may go into 2020, because I've got things that I want to accomplish and finish by the end of this year that may not happen, but I'm still going to work and see if I can get them done. If they don't happen, it's going to happen early 2020. As long as you get the goal accomplished is the most important thing. But once you've accomplished that goal, those 4 points again, number 1, reward yourself. Number 2, take a break. Number 3, reset the new goal. And number 4, plan it out. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, my book is now officially out there. Focus, How to Reach Your Potential in Sport, Business and Life. You can buy it directly from me, tiffanyMika.com/focus. If you feel like that you've got some value out of today's episode, leave a comment wherever you hear this episode. I really appreciate that. And I want you to dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Have an awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you haven't yet downloaded the number 1 deadly mistake athletes make sure you go to tiffany-mika.com and download the number 1 deadly mistake athletes make. Share with me what you like best about what you heard in the comments section wherever you hear this episode. Share with your friends that you know that would benefit from these episodes, and please leave a 5-star review wherever you hear these episodes. I would really appreciate it. Dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Have an absolutely awesome day.